Dr. Alma Castro,
Present.
and Mrs. Maria Lopez.
Is there a motion to approve this agenda?
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
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 Moved by Ms. Lopez, is that correct? Mr. Julian del Real Cayero, second by Ms. Lopez. Item passes with 4 votes. Are there any public comments pertaining to closed session items? We will now recess into closed session at 5:32 p.m.
How's your trip?
Yeah, I loved it. Just like sent photos, the mountains, the ocean, all of it, every single picture. I told my
Off season, so never in the summer. So like March through April, and then August and October. Yeah. Oh man. Calling back to order the Lynwood Unified School District's Board of Education regularly scheduled board meeting for April 27, 2023 at 6:05 p.m. Superintendent roll call.
Mr. Morales.
Present.
Mr. Hardy.
Present.
Dr. Castro.
Present.
Mr. Del Real Galleros.
Present.
Mrs. Lopez.
Tonight's flag salute will be by Lugo Elementary School.
All right, good evening. Hello, everyone. Good evening, Board President Morales, board members, Dr. Crossway, and members of the cabinet. I am Paul Ciron. I am the proud principal of the tiny but mighty Lugo Elementary. I also want to give a special shout out and hello to all of our administrative professionals in the room. Thank you so much for everything you do. This evening, it is our privilege and honor to present the flag salute, and I'm going to stop talking, and I brought two of our Lugo leaders here with us this evening who will lead us in the flag salute, so Catherine Corvera and Ruby Mercado. Take it away, ladies.
Good afternoon. My name is Catherine Corvera, and I am in 6th grade. I am president of Lugo ASB Leadership. When I am older, I want to be an astrobiologist, and I want to go to Stanford University.
And my name is Ruby Mercado. I am in 6th grade. I am publicity director of ASB Leadership. When I am older, I want to be a NICU nurse, and the college I want to go to is Cal State Fullerton. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Lugo Elementary. Reports. At this time, we'd like to hear from the student board representatives. Vista Pathway High School.
Good evening, Board President Alfonso Morales, the Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Crossway, members of the Cabinet, and Lynwood community. My name is Natalie Flores, and I am the Student Board Representative and member of ASB for Vista and Pathway High School. We would like to remind all Lynwood Unified parents and students to complete the LCAP survey. The survey consists of 9 questions that will help us to develop an action plan that meets all the needs of all the students in our district. Vista was excited to showcase student art at the annual LUSD Art Festival. Families had the opportunity to see the masterpieces we've been working hard on all year, while younger students had the opportunity to find their hidden artistic talents in some arts and crafts. Students attended a field trip to the Broad Museum in a final preparation for artistic inspiration. Many of our artwork was displayed at the art festival. Today we had the chance to get a sneak peek of what is to come June 12th as we took our cap and gown pictures. This was a very exciting moment as we entered the last quarter of our school year. We can't wait for our upcoming senior activities. Vista participated in a school-wide lockdown drill. The drill was unannounced to all students. The experience reminded us of the importance of emergency preparedness. The student body is grateful that Vista staff takes our safety seriously. Leadership students are working hard preparing for our Cinco de Mayo celebration taking place Friday, May 5th, 2023 during lunch. This concludes the Vista and Pathway High School report. Thank you.
Fireball High School.
Good evening, Board President Mr. Morales, Superintendent Crossway, board members, and the rest of the Lynwood community here today. My name is Ira Reyes. I'm the board representative and ASB president here representing MA Fireball High School. Today's information will be the most up-to-date and recent on our campus. Academics. The FHS community is preparing for exam season. AP testing will take place from May 1st through May 12th, 2023. IB testing will take place from May 1st through May 18th, 2023, and SBAC testing will be from May 15th through June 1st, 2023. Seniors will be taking their finals from May 15th through May 19th, and senior final grades and F list is due May 26th in an effort to ensure all seniors have the opportunity to improve their grade if needed before graduation. College and career information. In process of assisting students with SIR due May 1st, at this time, 148 students have committed to a university/college. Decision day for seniors is scheduled for April 28 from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. We will spend the day celebrating our seniors as they commit to their future schools after high school. The College and Career Center has finalized afternoon college for summer 2023 with 47 students interested in taking a course. The College and Career Center is currently in the process of scheduling AB 288 workshops with over 57 students attempting to join the program. School events/activities. The class of 2023 will be hosting a masquerade in Hollywood prom on May 6 at Casa Vertigo. Seniors who are interested in running for prom court are now able to apply. We're excited to see the student participation. Club, sports/athletic department. Girls volleyball celebrated their senior night on April 25th. They also celebrated their 17-4 win against LHS. Boys volleyball made 2023 undefeated Mid-Cities League and CIF. The team is playing the first round of CIF League games today against Fullerton High School. School culture. FHS will be hosting a social-emotional learning and salsa competition on May 5th. Before my presentation ends, I would like to thank everyone for being here today, and I wish you all a great rest of your week. Go Falcons!
Lynwood High School.
Good evening, Board President Mr. Morales, Superintendent Dr. Crossway, board members, district cabinet members, and Lynwood community. This is Lynwood High School Student Board Report for Thursday, April 27th. State and AP testing. Our students are getting ready to take on testing this upcoming month in May. An AP Trivia Fest was hosted on April 21st, allowing our students to prepare themselves and take a glimpse of what their testing will be like. On April 28th, an AP Yoga event will take place in the gym, giving our students an opportunity to de-stress and get ready to take on testing. We wish nothing but the best for them all. Dance competition. Our dance ensemble are champions. They traveled down to Vegas and participated in the Sharp National Competition and did not disappoint. They took home 4 first-place awards and took the overall national championship. We are proud of them and all their hard work and dedication. College and Career Center. The College and Career Center reported that so far, LHS students have been admitted to USC, University of Arizona, Stanford, UC Irvine, CSU Northridge, and CSU Los Angeles. According to the district survey, so far 71 students were admitted to at least one CSU and 18 students were admitted to at least one UC. Cesar Chavez Assembly. La Raza hosted their Cesar Chavez Assembly on March 30th. Invitations were sent out to teachers and students were able to watch the assembly live during this period as well. It was a very educational and fun assembly to witness. There were performances by dance and reenactments of important events of Cesar Chavez's life. Senior Decision Day. Today we celebrated our seniors and their post-secondary decisions during 4th period. Students were provided with a lunch prepared by our CTE culinary program, and they will participate in raffles and other activities. This allowed students to showcase where they will be going in the fall. Student activities. Our senior activities are coming up quickly. Prom will take place on May 13th at the Hyatt Regency in Long Beach. Grad Bash Universal Studio tickets are also on sale for our senior students to purchase at the student store. Our students must check and meet the attendance requirements to be able to participate in both these events. There will be more upcoming events like Powder Puff and our Spring Fling dance for our students to look forward to. Principal's Posse. Our principal Ms. Gonzalez hosted another principal's bossy meeting this Tuesday. A student representative is chosen in each second period to report back to their classroom about the information given in this meeting. Students are also allowed to speak about any questions or concerns they have. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes Lynwood High School Student Board Report. Thank you.
Lynwood Adult School.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Morales, Board members, Superintendent, Mr. Crossway, members of the Cabinet, and the Lynwood community. I am Veronica Gonzalez, Student Board Representative from Lynwood Community Adult School. LCAS hosted its spring open house event on Wednesday, April 26 at Fireball High School. We had a variety of activities, CBOs, and vendors. Students were entertained by students from the Latin Mirage Dance Studio and singing from the ESL student Felipe Lugo. LCAS will have its end of the year celebration banquet on Thursday, May 25th at Rio Hondo Golf Club. LCAS is celebrating Adult Education Week with a variety of activities, including a virtual address to our students by Dr. Crosswhite. This concludes Lynwood Community Adult School Report. Thank you.
We'll now move on to Superintendent's Report. Superintendent, please.
Thank you, Mr. Morales. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular board meeting. Go on to the next slide. I want to just take a moment to acknowledge everyone who helped out with the Arts Festival. It was the 9th annual. It was just a beautiful event to see our kids on stage and all of their artwork and to see the proud parents there. In case you missed it, we also announced that we're going to be partnering with Mariachi Ahua to start a mariachi program, elementary through high school, here in Lynwood. And on March 27th, Mariachi Ahua will have a free concert at Fireball High School. And Mariachi Ahua is part of Cielito Lindo and another international mariachi group. Let's go to the next slide. So next week is our Principal Appreciation Week. I want to just thank all of our principals in advance for every single thing that they do throughout the year, behind closed doors, in public, to support our employees, our families, and of course, our kids. So thank you very much for all that you do throughout the year. Let's go to the next slide. So there you can see just some quick numbers. We have 32 awesome assistant principals and principals in our district. 8 of them started in Lynwood prior to 2000. Some of them actually came to school here, and they were, we have one that started in 1993, and 8 of them are also Lynwood alums. So again, next week, don't forget, take a moment to appreciate and acknowledge our school principals. Next slide, please.
Dr. Crossway, can I just share something
Yes,
very
yes,
quickly?
thank
I'm
you.
sorry. You're probably wondering why those kid-like pictures were on there. If you can go back 2 slides, Rick. So I put those in there. I was a principal for 12 years. It was the best job I've had in education and the hardest job I've had in education. And this is a memento from one of my schools, and I was principal. Kindergarten class drew pictures of me as principal. And I've kept it now for 15 years. I love it. On the left there I am with a tie, so I'm glad I got a tie on. In the middle, it looks like I'm screaming at somebody, but I prefer that I'm singing, I don't know. And the right side has my big blue eyes, and I have brown eyes. So, but it's just one of my favorite things of like kind of the out of the hearts of babes, right, about their school principals. So
I see the resemblance, Dr. Lucas, despite here. Thank you so much. Let's go 2 more slides. And then, so here are a picture of all of our principals. Let's go to the next slide. And I just want to thank our teachers who are there. We had an invitation to visit Loudoun School District in Washington, D.C., and then we also had an invitation to go visit some high schools over in New York. So I want to thank our teachers who were able to go, including our counselor, Ms. Ontiveros, Ms. Edwards, Mr. Ude, and Mr. Ramirez, who are accompanying Dr. Dinkins. And these are part of the conversations that we started back in October, where we had over 100 school districts that came to visit Lynwood from all over the country. And so we're just reciprocating some of those visits and conversations. And Compton District was also part of this visit, as well as Compton College. And next slide. And just want to end with acknowledging all of our students from Skills USA who competed in the state competition over spring break. I know Ray from Fireball High School, they took gold in many of the events, so congratulations to them. I'm not sure where the national competitions are going to be this year, but we have students who will be competing there from Lynwood High School, Fireball High School, and our Cal Apps program, which is a partnership with Bellflower Unified. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Superintendent. Moving on to the board member reports. Ms. Lopez?
Thank you, Mr. Morales. Today, I'm not going to give any report, but I'm going to thank the event, all the principals that participated on the art festival. It was amazing, and many families and students really enjoyed. Yesterday, it was amazing too. The adult school open house. It was like a career day, many colleges, vendors. It was really good. But tonight, I would like to direct my talk to you, to the teachers. You are very loved by this community, from the parents, from the district, administrators, and I think like in any relationship, the relationship that you have with your husband, the relationship that you have with your kids, marks a difference of success. We want to have a beautiful relationship with you. Many of you, some of you, were my kids' teacher, my grandkids' teacher. So we want the best for you, but we need you to work with us. Sit down, negotiate, and see what is best for you and what is best for the district. We are not, I don't think that you support that we close programs, because we are not in the position of give more than what we can give, but I know that together we can reach something good for both parties. And that's what I'm asking you tonight. Work together with respect, because disrespecting each other takes no respect. We are disrespecting, we love you, let's sit down. We are not a team negotiator. We are the board, and we are asking you to sit down again and get to the best for our kids. Because at the end of the day, you're hurting the kids, we are hurting the kids, and it's not the purpose. The purpose is to feed the future of this nation, not only Lynwood, but this community is your community, no matter what. This is the one that you are coming every day. Basically, you just go back to sleep to your house. We need to love this community, and we support you. We are not against you, nothing at all. So let's work together, let's respect each other. That's my main message tonight. Let's respect each other, because there is no point to continue. Let's get it together, and let's work successfully on the name of the kids. Thank you so much.
Mr. Del Real Caballeros?
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I want to thank the community for being here today, and to our teachers for coming as well. So for my report, I have, so on April 1st of this month, I was able to attend the track meet at the Lynwood High School, where our athletes from all of our elementary schools competed in running competitions. Congratulations to all those who won medals that day, especially those who ran around the track or in the 200-meter. I probably wouldn't even win a 5-meter run. And thank you to our city and district staff for organizing this event, and to our teachers and coaches for preparing the students for this competition. Also, on the 6th of this month, I was able to attend the science fair here at Bateman Hall, where many research and findings were made by our young scientists. One of the cutest things I saw there was a young, I believe it was a 3rd grader wearing a white robe. I thought that was adorable. And there were many great hypotheses argued and conclusions met, my favorite being the coin toss. The great thing about this presentation was, but the hypothesis was argued that the size and weight of a coin affects the outcome of a flip. But the conclusion was that it's still 50-50. However, the data showed out of 100 flips, 45 times the coin landed on heads and 55 times it landed on tails. So whenever I get a chance to play in the Super Bowl for the 49ers, I know I should go for tails, because best chance I'm going to get tails. And congratulations to our Lynwood High School dance team for their championship win in Vegas. It's great when our students are representing our community out there. In this case, they're representing us in the state of Nevada. So congratulations to our students and to the teachers and staff who supported them on their way over there. And lastly, I still want to mention also that I did attend a couple of open houses in the community. I have to say a few of them were because I did have time to go visit, so I was able to visit Mark Twain and visit the high school. Great to be out there with the parents and teachers and see what students have been doing throughout the school year, and particularly this semester, but also, I went to Abbott and Lugo because I have my siblings attending those schools. So it was great to be out there and see all the great things our teachers and students are doing. But I want to end my remarks by sending my condolences to our Hancock Park Elementary family. It's a LAUSD school. This, I believe, was on Monday. There was a student who was hit by a truck that was speeding in the school zone. And it's tragic that happened, but, it sends a message to us, not just that community, but the whole country, that people really need to be conscious about where they're driving, especially in school zones. Unfortunately, people have come with those concerns to me here in Lynwood. It's been brought up to me by teachers, by parents, by neighbors who live in front of schools, and it is a problem. Just a message out there to our community who's listening. It's not worth speeding, even when you're late. Like, I work in South Central, and sometimes I'm leaving here like at 7:45, and I know I'm going to be late. I know the signing sheet's not going to be there. I'm going to have to sign in the tardy sheet. But it's not worth speeding and costing the life of not just a student, but in this case, it was a student got hurt and a parent that died. And it happened in front of kids. So community members, let's be careful in our Lynwood streets. A lot of our streets here have schools, so be mindful. And that's all from our report.
Thank you. Dr. Castro?
Good evening, Lynwood community. This week, we know we recognize the administrator office support, and I just want to extend our gratitude for your service and support. Oftentimes, when parents or visitors come to our schools, you are the first one that provides that high level of customer service, and you're also that backbone of all of our schools, of our teachers, of our principals. So muchísimas gracias. Thank you for all you do. Last week, I had the opportunity to attend the Los Angeles County School Trustees Association meeting, where there was information shared or best practices shared about CTE programs. I also participated on the California School Boards Association Legislative Committee. These committees are really important. We discuss legislative bills or review legislative bills that impact in the state of California salaries and other issues related to our teachers and our workforce, our schools and our students. And it's really important that we engage in advocacy for our students and for our community. I want to encourage you, families, those that are here that can encourage your students, but also those families that are here. The LCAP survey has come out to us as parents. I'm a parent of a 10th grade student and receive it via my cell phone. It's 9 questions. It's really important to get you as families to respond to the LCAP, to inform our district priorities, and to really support what we want to continue to do with our school funding. This afternoon, I was able to attend the last game for the Lynwood High School softball ladies. Just really proud of all of our sports across the district. Thank you, coaches, and thank you, teachers, for supporting sports in our community. Good luck to all of our students. I know my daughter talked to me about the pre-AP exams, and thank you to our students who shared with us today that many of our students are going to be taking AP exams next week. Thank you, teachers and administrators, for supporting our students and doing really well on their AP exams. I want to thank you, teachers and educators, and everyone that is here with us tonight. Thank you for your emails, for your phone calls, for coming to share your concerns. And we are here to continue the negotiation process. Gracias.
Mr. Hardy.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I just want to also give kudos to our principals. I know I've had a chance to work with many of you over the years, and just always excited to see what you all do in meeting challenges, especially as we got more familiar than we wanted to be with each other during the pandemic, and the way that we tried to approach the situation that was not as favorable to see a good positive outcome for our kids. Also just want to I guess, I'm probably a little jet lagged, but I just wanted to say that, in thinking about where we are as a community right now, we're facing many challenges. And as Mrs. Lopez was talking, I'm reminded about something I mentioned to our principals a couple weeks ago, is that and there's oftentimes in a marriage, even though I'm single, reading from marriage counselors that, one of the best advice they give is to not focus on each other as a problem, but make the problem, and make sure that as a community, we are saying that it's us versus the problem and not us versus us. So I'm just encouraging everyone to continue to push through negotiations. I know it's not fun, it's tough, it's arduous, but I'm confident in both sides that we reach an agreement that works for the community, because at the core of it all, I want to see our kids thrive in this very challenging world. And our families thrive in face of all the circumstances that they've seen. I was just in Europe last week, and I feel very fortunate to live in the country that we live in. But I do know that we can be much better than we are, because every Uber I got in, the Ubers were asking about what life is like here and why we have so much problems when it comes to violence and guns. And I just kept thinking about the fact that Dr. King always said that if we live up to what we say, what we are on paper, we could be so much better for everybody. So I think that's the message that I have for us all tonight, is that we must rise to our highest ideals to get to a place where we are facing challenges together, and we create a better and brighter future for our community, and a better and brighter future for all of us that play a role in educating the next generation of leaders and young people that can take over, because I'm tired at some point, I want to retire. So the better we can do to build strong young people, the less we'd have to do to repair broken adults, which we see so often, who are the reasons why we have issues in our communities and our societies that we have to adjudicate. So again, thank you all for your hard work and dedication. As I said, my mom was a teacher, so I know what it's like. It's not easy. My family is full of educators, and I just want to make sure that we stay focused on our ultimate goal, which is reaching resolution, which is getting back to a community that is whole and that is producing students like we see on the wall behind us, that are going off to their college and career and making this world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. Briefly, just want to say that I had the pleasure of meeting the incoming possible speaker to be Mr. Rivas from up north. He was down here, and he's going to be taking over, it said, Anthony Rendon's position sometime soon. And it's important that we continue those relationships with Sacramento because the state is who ultimately is in charge of funding the schools, and we want to make sure we have those relationships so that we can, go talk to them, ask for money and whatever it is we need to do, and, something similar to what happened with the high school. We want to continue those relationships. So I met him last week, and it was a good meeting. He asked me for my card, which I thought was good because I saw him speak to other people, and he only asked me for this card. So I wanted to comment about that. I did thank him about, for the funding for Lynwood High School. And then the next item and the last item I'm going to talk about is obviously our negotiations. A lot of times you guys come and you don't hear from us, right? And you wonder, what the hell, are they even listening to us? Like, we come here and we talk and we tell them stuff and they don't even respond or they don't even say anything. You guys need to understand, we're told sometimes, a lot of the times, is we can't interfere with negotiations. Negotiations are going on, don't interfere, you're going to make it worse, something like that. But I'll be honest, we're human over here, we're kind of getting fed up. So we want you to hear from us and know what we're thinking. And, you're coming to the wrong meeting, I'm going to tell you that right now, because we don't negotiate the terms, we approve it. There's a negotiating team that we have, people on the left over there, and there's a negotiation team for your union. I hope you know who they are. I haven't talked to them, but they're the ones that negotiate with them, and they have equal power as to what's going on and to say what they want. That's where it happens, not here. If it's up to me, double your salary. You deserve it. I think teachers have been disrespected for a long time in this country. I've got family members who are teachers, and they tell me about the jokes they hear, those who can't teach, stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you something, and I think you know it, and I think you see it in your kids. The role you guys play is unequivocal. You guys are a mom, you're a dad, you're a teacher, you're a mentor, you're a psychologist, you're a therapist, you're all these things rolled up into one. And I know sometimes you don't feel like you're respected. And, I know it gets frustrating, right? You deserve more, and you should get more. We here don't make that decision. We approve what goes on in negotiations. Stuff's happened in the past. Like, I'm gonna say something right now you guys might not like, but I'm gonna tell it to you, because I've been here for a while. Your benefits compared to the other unions aren't good. The other two unions, let me tell you something. The other two unions have better benefits than you. You wanna know why? You wanna know why? There was 1 year that the people that were representing LTA said, give us everything on salary, nothing on benefits. I thought that was a horrible, horrible, proposition. But that's what happened that year. And that was wrong, in my opinion. But that's what was negotiated. So that's what happened. So I think things need to improve. I, for example, think that you guys should get, there's a scale that I think stops at 20 years, and then there's no more increase for longevity. I think that should be increased to 25, minimum, if not 30. Why isn't that being negotiated? I think that the whole salary scale should be shifted. Why isn't that being negotiated? I happen to hear, because I asked, and they tell me, because I'm asking, that the negotiation was canceled on Monday. Why was that canceled? Every moment matters. That's why you're here today, away from your families. So I don't care what's going on, negotiations need to happen. That's my perspective, okay? But that's my perspective. It doesn't matter, we have some financials, talk it out. Communication needs to occur. Every moment matters. So why was that meeting canceled? It shouldn't have been canceled. The meeting was canceled. The meeting should not be canceled. It's important for the meeting to go forward. Why was the meeting canceled if that's where things happen? So that's what happened. The meeting should not have been canceled, period. Things are too important right now. So you're asking, why aren't things moving? Well, meetings are being canceled right now. That happened this week. This week. Shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. You guys need to talk with them. They need to talk to your negotiations. Why was it canceled? And I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying it's you, the teachers. I'm saying it's whoever your bargaining team is. Okay?
And Mr. Morales.
It should not have been canceled.
Mr. Morales, and Dr. Lucas, I know we have, my understanding is that we're going to wait for the May revise from the state, and then our next scheduled meeting will be for what day?
May 25th.
So May 25th will be our next negotiations day.
Well, look, you guys, we've been told there's a certain percentage that's been put out there, right? Okay, well, listen, we think it should, we think it should be more, okay? So go negotiate it, though, is what I'm telling you. Negotiate it at the negotiating table. But listen to me, negotiate it at the negotiating table. When you're at the negotiating table, negotiate it. Look, when I went to school here, I was told and I was taught to do my research and to do my work. So then what needs to happen is that both sides need to look at the books, because if you can't afford something, you don't buy it. I want a Mercedes-Benz. I can't afford it, so I don't buy it.
Mr. President, can I call a Mr. President, can I call a point of order?
Sure, go ahead.
I apologize.
Go ahead.
I just want to.
Excuse me.
I want to call a point of order. We need to keep decorum in the meeting. As speakers speak, it's one mic at a time. So the president is speaking, and we respect you all when you're speaking doing public comments. Let's make sure that we can hear each other, because right now it's a lot of noise and we're not hearing what people are saying. So I just wanted to make sure that we call the point of order and maintain decorum in the meeting so we can continue to progress.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. So if you could let me finish, you guys are gonna have your time, okay? So I think there needs to be negotiations that occur, okay? They need to happen. The meetings need to happen. Meetings should not be canceled by either side. Whenever I hear meetings canceled, I don't like it, because that means the communicating isn't occurring, and that's where it needs to happen. That's what I'm telling you. I'm upset about that. That should not have happened. When I found out that happened, I was upset, because the meetings need to happen. If not, they're not talking. So that needs to occur. And we're gonna hear from you guys. And we've got 38 speakers today. Everyone's given 3 minutes, and we're gonna listen to what everyone has to say. And, I hope that we continue to move forward to get to a place where we can get to an agreement where this district can function. We might get to a point where we have to cut programs. We might get to a point where we have to close a school. We might get to a point where we have to lay off people. And if that happens, then that happens. But the point is that we have to go through the negotiation process to get somewhere where we need to get. So we're not gonna know that until we get there. And that's it for my part now. Thank you. Moving on. Public comments and communications. Per Board Policy 9323, 3 minutes may be allotted to each speaker to address all their items. If translation services are required, please state that. An additional 1 minute will be allotted. Please approach the lectern and give your name. First person to speak will be Larry Sanchez, and then followed by Maricruz Sanchez.
Hello, everyone. I won't take up much of your time, but I felt the need to come up here and just address the school board and the members, and especially the superintendent, for the games that they've been playing for the last 300 days or so, if not more. I find it hard to believe and borderline insulting that the superintendent is not willing to make a deal with the union to give the teachers not only better pay, but better benefits. The teachers are the only ones that are shaping the future of this population. I mean, without teachers, we wouldn't have engineers, we wouldn't have doctors, we wouldn't have mechanics or construction workers to improve our great city. Yet you, Mr. Superintendent, are essentially telling the parents of Lynwood that our teachers are not worth the money. You're doing that by allowing 300 days or so to pass without striking a deal. I seriously can't believe that this topic has to be dragged on for this long. I, as a tax-paying citizen, would much rather have the teachers have bigger raises and better benefits than to pay for your raises that you give yourselves. I believe you guys vote or something for the superintendent to give his own raises. And from my understanding, it's no wonder you guys are telling the union that there's no more money to pay teachers. It seems as if you guys are just paying yourselves before you're giving us the people that really deserve it what they need to get. They're the ones that are actually doing the real work out there. I mean, please feel free to stop me and remind me the last time you made a lesson plan, Mr. Superintendent. I didn't think so. And to make things worse, from what I'm told, you're given a $700 to $800 monthly stipend for your car and gas transportation needs. Now, I'm not sure how your transportation needs being paid to come to work became a thing, but I'm pretty sure that if this school district was really that strapped for cash, then the money allocated for your car payments would be the first thing to re-budget it for teachers. He goes, who again, they're the ones that are doing the real work in this community. Lastly, Mr. Superintendent, I find it funny that you negotiated your contract that in the event that there is a deal that's struck, that you'd give yourself about a $13,000 raise as the teachers only get about a $2,000 or $3,000 raise. If there really, where I go, if there really is X amount of dollars in the budget to pay for a new contract, then you would think that that's something, oh, sorry, I'm repeating myself. If the surrounding school districts can afford raises for teachers, then it almost seems that you guys out there don't really know how to budget a budget. Because in my opinion, you guys should probably be audited by either the media or some other entity to make sure that the parents know where all these funds go to. Because again, in my opinion, you guys are just milking that cash cow before anyone else can get served. So do the right thing, pay our teachers, and give them better benefits. God bless everyone, especially our teachers. Thank you for your time.
Brenda Solis after Maricruz Sanchez. Brenda Solis after Maricruz Sanchez.
Maricruz Sanchez, parent and community member. I am here in solidarity and full support for Lynwood teachers. They have been without a contract for 300 days. I want to ask Superintendent Crosswhite why teachers in neighboring districts get paid more than Lynwood teachers. I want to ask Superintendent Crosswhite why he does not value the work and dedication of Lynwood teachers. Remember, no contract for 300 days. Why are teachers here fighting and having to plead for a raise that other superintendents in neighboring districts provide their teachers? Board Member Julian Del Real, you are a teacher who works at LAUSD. You just got a 21% raise. Why are you opposed to Lynwood teachers getting a raise? The rest of the board members, why are you not standing up for teachers, for students, for our community? You were elected to serve, not to be silent. You were elected to bring prosperity and not adversity. You were elected to be our community's allies, not opponents. So I ask you, board members, why are we at this point? No contract for 300 days. The notion that low student enrollment impacts the decision to grant the said raise is a farce. First, students have been living this district for years, and that has not prevented the superintendent and district cabinet from securing their raises and contract renewals. There is a whole community of Lynwood students in Downey and other neighboring districts. Why? Why do they leave? Personally, my children left. They should have been graduating from Lynwood Unified, but they left because of the lack of safety, lack of resources, and horrible facilities. Yes, this is what I will say. My children left this district with a strong educational foundation provided by Lynwood teachers, and that is why I'm here supporting them and in solidarity. The district has failed to retain students for far too long. Now, by not granting a fair raise, teachers will be forced to leave to neighboring districts where they will be paid their worth, where they will be valued. And why wouldn't they? But guess what? They don't want to leave, and we do not want them to go. Another huge problem is that the district continues to open up unnecessary positions within the district instead of hiring classroom aides that could provide direct services to students, that could assist with teachers' heavy workload and definitely help with learning loss. One last thing, our district for far too long has been plagued with a culture of division. Dr. Crosswhite, this division narrative ends today. As parents and community members, we stand with you, teachers. We stand with you today, we stand with you tomorrow, and for as long as it takes. Our students are worth this and more. Lynwood teachers, you are valued by our community, and we want to retain you here.
Lizette Fryer after Brenda Solis.
Hi, you guys. Good afternoon. My name is Brenda Solis. I work in for our digital forensics now. And the last time I was here, it was 2007, and I was fighting for my teacher's pink slips. And now it's 2023, and now I'm fighting for my teachers' wages. That's pretty insane if you think about it. See, I've been a lot of things for the district. I've been a mock trial attorney. I've been a academic decathlete. I've been a debater. And every time after every competition, I always notice, and so did my teammates, just the discrepancies that other teams had in compared to us. And it sucked. But you know who it must have sucked the most? It was for our coaches, because they were in the same room teaching the same thing with less resources and less paid and smaller paychecks than the people we were competing against. And, and it didn't get better in college. I graduated from Cal State Long Beach with a degree in computer science and a minor in cybersecurity. And every time I talk to my colleagues and I talk to my coworkers and my classmates, what got us into STEM? Not once have I ever heard it was a third-party vendor. And you know what really grinds my gears? Not once has it ever been that the district had a mascot, because Glendora doesn't have a mascot, not Palo Alto. But you know what everyone says that got them into STEM? It's teachers. It was Miss Arellano for me in 8th grade. It was Mr. Nguyen in 10th through 12th. It was Miss Palma, who was my advisor for 4 different clubs. There was a lot of talk of disrespect at this meeting, but you know what was disrespectful? It was disrespectful having to blame my professors, people who are now my peers, and tell them that it's their fault that things aren't getting done. When you guys said that it was your job to sign off on the paper, then that looks like it is your job. If you don't like a deal, you don't have to sign it. And it is disrespectful for you guys to talk back to my former educators that way. And furthermore, I think what bothers me the most is that who I am today as an individual, as a professional, isn't it because of you guys? It isn't because of third-party vendors. It's not because of Lynwood. It's because of them. Everyone out here and everybody in here and outside is responsible or who I am as a person. It's Miss Palma, it's Mr. Ochoa, it's Mr. Nguyen, Miss Arellano, Miss Plaza, Miss Bhattacharya, Miss Lovett. I remember them, and it's been over 14 years since I was in Mr. Nui and Mr. Wiley's class, and I was in 4th grade. So I yield the rest of my time to the next speaker. Have a great night, you guys. Bye for teachers.
Yasmin de la Torre after Lizette Frayer. And Lizette is using the interpreter.
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es Lizeth Fraire. Yo tengo 3 hijos, Oscar, Ángel y Adrián Fraire, que actualmente acuden a la Lynwood High, César Chávez y Marshall.
Si puede tomar pausas, por favor.
Good afternoon. My name is Lise Faires. I have 3 kids, Oscar, Angel, and Adrian, and they go to Lynwood High School, and Cesar Chavez and Marshall.
Estoy aquí apoyando a los maestros por un aumento salarial porque esto no podemos seguir permitiendo que los buenos maestros se marchen a otros distritos porque tienen mejores ofertas salariales.
I'm here supporting the teacher because it's not fair that the teacher have to leave our district because to another district because they offer better salary than us.
Esto está ocasionando que tengamos demasiados sustitutos y provoca que nuestros hijos no avancen.
This is causing that we get a lot of substitutes and our kids stay behind.
También estoy apoyándolos porque creo que es indispensable que tengan lugares cómodos y equipados.
I'm also supporting because I believe they need to have a place comfortable and equipped.
Literal, esta es la segunda casa de nuestros hijos.
Literally, this is the second home for our kids.
Tanto Lynwood High como Marshall tienen demasiados salones que los aires acondicionados no funcionan.
As well as Lynwood High and Marshall, they both have a lot of kids and a lot of problems. The air conditioners are not working.
Hay goteras, los techos están cayendo.
There's leakage, the roofs are falling off.
En Marshall, los niños tienen que comer afuera donde hay polvo y moscas.
In Marshall, the kids have to be outside where there's dust and mosquitoes.
Teniendo un lugar que pueden utilizar, que por falta de personal para limpiar, no lo pueden utilizar.
Having a place well enough to eat, but they cannot use it because they don't have a personnel to maintain it and to clean it up.
El calor provoca que mis hijos lleguen con dolor de cabeza y les provoca sangrado de nariz y es más difícil para ellos poderse concentrar.
The heat causes my kids to come home with a headache, and and bleeding from their nose, and they cannot concentrate to do their homework.
Tanto Marshall como Lynwood High tienen infestaciones de animales.
Marshall and Lynwood High, they both have infestations of rodents.
En high school hay ratones, cucarachas y hormigas.
In the high school, there's rats, mosquitoes, and ants.
Mi hijo no puede ni siquiera llevar snacks o lonche porque se le llena de hormigas.
My son cannot even carry a lunch because he'll be full of ants.
En Marshall hay ratones y mosquitos.
In Marshall, there's mice and mosquitoes.
Los niños llegan todos picados.
The kids come home all beaten by the mosquitoes.
Estoy aquí no solo apoyando a los maestros por una mejora, sino también viendo por el bienestar de mis hijos.
I'm here not just supporting the teachers, but I'm also asking for better conditions for my kids.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Yasmin de la Torre, and then following Dora Lopez.
Good evening. My name is Yasmin de la Torre, and I am proud to say that I am a product of Lynwood Unified, having attended kindergarten through 12th grade in this district. I felt compelled to give back to my community, and I've been teaching in Lynwood for 15 years. Last month, I was recognized by Lynwood Unified's social media campaign that highlighted influential women in our school community. In my interview, I was asked what message I have for the young girls of the world. My response was to never be afraid to speak up for what you believe in, as it is important for girls to learn how to advocate for themselves. And today, I am here to advocate for myself and all my fellow teachers. I believe that fair compensation, including better pay and health benefits, is not only a matter of respect and recognition for our hard work, but also a way to ensure that great teachers can continue to provide high-quality education to our students. I urge you to take action and work towards fair compensation for all teachers in our district. Let us work together to create an environment where teachers are valued and respected for the important work that we all do. Thank you.
Virginia Williams after Dora Lopez. Virginia Williams after Dora Lopez.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Dora López. Estoy aquí en apoyo a los maestros de este distrito. Tengo tres.
Good afternoon. My name is Dora Lopez, and I'm here to support the teachers of this district.
Tengo tres hijas, por eso estoy aquí. Me dirijo a ti, Alma Castro, María G. López, Alfonso Morales, señor Gary Gary, Superintendente Guriel.
I'm here to talk to you guys. Alma Castillo, Maria Lopez, Alfonso Morales, Mr. Gary Hardy, she misspelled it, sorry. Gary Hardy, and Superintendent Gudiel.
Y a ti, Julián del Real, maestro del Distrito de Los Ángeles. Te acaban de dar un aumento de 21%. Y a los maestros allá también. ¿Por qué te opones al aumento a tus colegas aquí en Lynwood?
And also to you, Julián del Real, teacher from LAUSD. You just got a big raise of 21%. Why are you opposing to a raise right here on the teachers on Lynwood?
Desde el momento que dejamos a nuestros hijos en las escuelas, los maestros se convierten en sus segundos padres, amigos, consejeros y más.
From the moment we drop off our kids at the school, the teachers become their counselors, their friends, and a lot more.
Por eso estoy aquí al 100% en apoyo al aumento que se merecen, no a la burla del 5% que ustedes les quieren dar.
That's why I'm here to support for the students to get the full 100% of the raise that they're asking for, not the misery 5% that you're proposing.
Mi hija mayor se graduó de la escuela 2022. Ahora está en la Universidad de Stanford. Dio gracias a cada uno de sus maestros que la ayudaron académicamente desde prekinder hasta high school.
My daughter graduated 2022, and right now she's attending Stanford. She's so proud of the teachers that help her all the way from kinder to high school.
Ni una sola vez mencionó a uno de ustedes. Lo único que ustedes hacen es sonreír para la foto.
Not once she mentioned any one of you. All you do is smile for the picture.
Los maestros son los que deberían estar en las fotos, no ustedes.
The,
Otra de mis hijas,
the teachers are the ones that should be in the picture, not you guys.
otra de mis hijas está en el grado 11, en High School Fireman. Y no voy a permitir que programas, clubs y clases al que mi hija pertenece y necesita se terminen.
My other daughter is on the 11th grade and the high school fireball. And I'm not gonna allow programs, clubs, classes that my daughter is participating in to be eliminated.
Solo porque ustedes están en contra al aumento justo que nuestros maestros merecen.
Just because you're against the just raise that the teachers deserve.
Eso sí que no. Mi hija pequeña está en tercer año con la excelente maestra Miss Louis en Washington Elementaria. El verano pasado mi hija salía con dolor de cabeza.
My younger daughter is on 3rd grade with Miss Lou on Washington Elementary. Last year she was coming home with headaches.
Por la falta de aire acondicionado, tuve que venir aquí al distrito para arreglar este problema. Mientras ustedes, wow.
Because of the lack of HVAC in the school, I had to come here and yeah, my kids are without the AC, but right here everything is comfortable.
Es desalentador saber que hay peleas entre sí. Como distrito, en lugar de pelear las batallas reales contra el racismo sistémico experimentado por el sistema educativo de nuestra comunidad.
Ms. López, señora López, muchas gracias. Va a ser todo. Va a traducir esta parte nomás.
It is sad to hear fights from within when you could be fighting the bigger battles like the racist, systemic racist, and other things that happens within our community.
Thank you.
Wow.
Virginia Williams, followed by Martina Rodriguez. Martina Rodriguez after Virginia Williams.
I started getting emotional sitting back there. First of all, because I'm looking at it as usual, everybody, well, not everybody, but y'all doing other things. And I just really feel like, you know, let me get to my speech. Okay, so good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here this evening. I will start by letting you know how hurt, angered, and a few other adjectives that I could use to describe how I feel, especially listening at just the talk that, you know, Mr. Morales, I mean, that was like, wow, like a slap in the face. So you say it's not the district versus the teachers. Well, this is not how I'm seeing it, especially after sitting there listening to that you were saying, like, we need to get it together, as well as you, Madam, I can't think of your name, but as well.
Ms.
I'm
Lopez.
really peeved, I'm sorry, but, you know, it just don't make sense. Why were teachers not allowed entry into the arts festival? Because we were standing up for ourselves and we want fair wages, and there's something wrong with that. We wore our red shirts and we were not allowed in. We were told we made our choice to rally, and that meant that we were not allowed inside. I personally am feeling so disrespected for so many reasons. You tell us that you can only give us 5% raise. That has me shaking my head in disgust. Take it or leave it is what I feel like you telling us. So, Mr. Crossway, a few weeks ago, you were scheduled to do a walkthrough at Lynwood, but you canceled. And I was just wondering, was there a particular reason why, or was it because we had no power, electricity, internet, or telephones? Could that possibly have been the determining factor? I feel like it would have been more than appropriate for you to come check us out as we work through a difficult day with our students, even through not so conducive conditions. It would have been good for you to see how we persevere through whatever to provide students with us as teachers. We were there. You decided not to show up. We were still doing what had to be done. Yet you take a lot of credit, just like somebody else said, for the successes of the students in Lynwood Unified. You take pictures and do a lot of self-patting on the back when you have very little to do with these milestones that the students of Lynwood are making. These are your teachers who are working hard and going above and beyond in order to make sure our students are prepared with an education that enables them to compete with others in the world.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Paula Frayer after Martina Rodriguez. Paula Frayer after Martina Rodriguez.
Hi, my name is Martina Rodriguez, and I'm here in supporting of our teachers. Teachers is the heartbeat of our district. As a mother of 4, I know great teachers that have influence in the life of my kids. I've seen how teachers struggle to teach our students. Our kids has been struggling, working under pressure, trying to meet the benchmarks, too much testing, and no data. Students stay behind, but there's no service for them. You know, if they're low academic, the teachers have to run and continue teaching the benchmarks. So the teachers are struggling to teach up to the test because they're not teaching up to what they want to teach and help those students that are really staying behind. So they're struggling in classrooms that are poor maintaining, they are dirty, classrooms there are roofs that are leaking, they have mold around the walls, and there's no accountability. You know, I've seen and I've been here asking that we have to do an audit because you say it's no money, we're gonna lose programs like Ms. Lopez said, then you know we might lose close programs. You know what? No, I think this is enough. You guys have neglected the accountability. Last time I was sitting in this meeting and you wanted to spend $25,000 a month for a consultation. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you bring all those consultants that are serving, supposedly helping the teachers, but they're not helping them. They're teaching themselves to teach these kids that are struggling. So I'm here, and I hope that we support to do an audit that has across this district to know where's the funding going. Measure K, Measure N. No. Our roofs are leaking. Why? We had this money. Where's the money? Measure K and Measure N. Where do you guys have this money? You guys hire these people, friend of I don't know who, and what's going on? Now, in my daughter's school, you guys pay $2 million to fix the auditorium. Go see it. The walls all bumpy, air conditions not working, things are not working. Go see the $2 million that you guys invested there. I want you guys to go and see it. You know, Mr. Morales, very disrespectful. You say, I'm not responsible. Yes, you are. You're the boss of the superintendent, and we're your boss, the voters. So yes, you are.
Alejandra Parra after Paula Frayer. Alejandra Parra after Paula.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Paola Freire. Tengo 3 hijos, Joshua, Joe y Paulette Freire.
Good afternoon. My name is Paula Friday. I have 3 kids, Joshua, Joe, and Paulette.
En el cual asisten a Lynwood High School, Marshall y próximamente a César Chávez y somos residentes aquí de Lynwood.
They all assist Lynwood High School, Marshall, and so pretty soon it's going to be Cesar Chavez too, and we live right here in Lynwood.
Mi punto al cual asisto hoy aquí es para brindar mi apoyo a los maestros de este distrito escolar de Lynwood.
The reason why I'm here is to support the teachers from Lynwood.
En mi opinión, yo considero a los maestros como compañeros míos, ya que ellos están gran parte del día con nuestros hijos. Mínimos,
In my opinion, I consider the teachers my partners because they spend half of the day with my kids.
Mínimo 7 horas diarias de lunes a viernes los 5 días.
At least 7 hours a day, Monday to Friday, 5 days a week.
Por lo cual ellos merecen tener un buen soporte académico necesario para que puedan tener un buen éxito.
Therefore, they need a strong economical support to be successful.
Porque ellos como maestros, si están bien, lógicamente nuestros hijos lo estarán.
Because if they're well, obviously the students are going to be well.
Por lo cual merecen tener una buena compensación justa.
Therefore, they need to have a just compensation.
También les pedimos que mejoren las condiciones de los salones, ya que en ciertos salones no funcionan los aires acondicionados.
We also ask that you improve the conditions because some of the classrooms HVAC are not working.
Hay plagas de ratones y bastantes mosquitos,
The rodent infestation and a lot of mosquitoes.
en lo cual obstruye el aprendimiento de los alumnos y la enseñanza de los maestros.
And this obstruct the learning of the students and the effort of the teachers to teach.
Pedimos más seguridad tanto dentro como afuera de las escuelas, más limpieza y mantenimiento en los salones.
We request better security in and out of the classroom as well as maintenance.
Seguiremos en la lucha por nuestros maestros y estudiantes que reciban en la escuela lo que se merecen y lo que es justo para ellos. Gracias.
We will continue in the fight to support our teachers so they can get what they deserve and what they need in the classroom. Thank you.
Eva Andrade after Alejandra Para. Eva Andrade after Alejandra Para.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Alejandra Parra, tengo 3 hijos, 2 de ellos en Lynwood High School uno en Marshall.
Good afternoon. My name is Angela Parra. I have 3 kids, 2 of them on Lynwood and 1 on Marshall.
Estoy aquí apoyando a mis maestros, pidiendo un mejor ambiente escolar para nuestros hijos y en especial en Marshall.
We're here supporting the teachers, hoping that they can have better
Un mejor ambiente, aquí te quedas.
better.
¿Lo puedo leer todo de uno y le doy la hoja para que él me lo pueda traducir?
No, es muy difícil así, lo hemos hecho.
We have better.
¿Me van a
support.
reponer mi tiempo?
I need order.
We have
They
better
need to do
support,
that. Let them.
especially in Marshall.
Ok. En la forma de eliminar la infestación de ratones, mejor servicio de aire acondicionado, el área de lunch más limpio.
We want the rats to be eliminated, the air conditioning to be fixed, and the place where they have lunch to be clean.
Un mejor almuerzo, que no estén fríos, no enlamadas y tengan alarmas en las escuelas.
We want the lunch to be warm. We don't want it to be molded, and we want better alarms in the school.
Solucionar el problema del tráfico a la hora de la salida.
To solve the problems of traffic at the dismissal time.
Yo apoyo a los maestros porque he tenido mucha ayuda cuando uno de mis hijos tenía problemas académicos.
I support the teachers because I got a lot of support when I had academic problems with one of my kids.
Él necesitaba ayuda de speech. Una maestra me asesoró y me ayudó.
He had speech problems, and one of the teachers approached me, and she was able to help me.
Y estoy agradecida por la ayuda que me brindó.
I'm really glad that the support that she provided.
Al igual necesitan clases más pequeñas, menos estudiantes y más aprendizaje.
They also need the classes to be smaller because when they're smaller, they learn better.
Al obtenerlo tendrán un ambiente seguro y mejor rendimiento académico.
The smaller one, they have to have a safe environment. At the same time that the environment is safe, they learn better.
Por lo cual merecen una compensación justa.
Therefore, the teachers need a just compensation.
Nos mantendremos unidos en la lucha por nuestros maestros hasta lograr el objetivo por un mejor salario, un trato justo y respetable hacia ellos.
We will keep fighting the just fight for a just salary for teachers until we reach the objective of better salary for the teachers.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Rachel Jimenez after Eva Andrade. Rachel Jimenez after Eva Andrade.
Good afternoon. My name is Eva Andrade. I'm a parent of 2 daughters that attend Marshall Elementary and daughter who attends Lynwood High. I'm here to speak as a concerned parent and volunteer. I want to address each and every one of you about the horrible environment where our students are supposed to be learning and our teachers teaching. Are you aware that classrooms don't have operating air conditioning? Are you aware about loose falling ceilings? How about the fact that there's a rat infestation? How can you, superintendent and board members, expect teachers to teach our children, to teach my daughters in those conditions? I thought schools was supposed to be a safe environment. No kid should worry about falling ceilings or waking up wondering if they'll be in a hot classroom. And you people don't want to pay our teachers fair wages. Our students are taking unnecessary tests just to assess how the school is doing, to see if the school district and the schools are effective, and to monitor teachers' performance. These tests cause our students to worry and stress. Throughout the years my daughters have attended this district, they have had wonderful teachers, Mr. Gomez, Ms. Salcido, Ms. Harper, Ms. Gutierrez, Mr. Weiss. These are just to name a few. They've gone out of their way to help our students and more. Teachers deserve a fair wage. As a voter, I recalled many promises during the campaign. As a voter, are we reconsidering who I want on my city school board? As parents, we are demanding more academic support. Our teachers deserve better and fair compensation. And lastly, a safe environment for our current and future students. Thank you.
Belinda Alvarez after Rachel Jimenez. Belinda Alvarez after Rachel Jimenez.
My name is Rachel Jimenez. I grew up here in Lynwood, and I went to Lugo Elementary and graduated from Lynwood High School. I actually went to school with one of the board members here. But before I actually go into it, I have never been to a board meeting at any other district where I feel like the panel is not even paying attention. I know this is a few minutes that might seem redundant to people, but people, Mr. Crossway on his laptop, it's really offensive and disrespectful. And so I've never seen that happen. And I just expect at least this moment, board meetings only happen very few times a month, to at least have that respect for us. So I used to teach in Lynwood. I taught here for 10 years. I was a special education teacher. I worked with Maria Lopez's son. And so we started a Green Team campaign here. The reason I ended up leaving and am no longer in Lynwood Unified School District, even though this is my heart, my community, the place I love, the place I grew up with, the students I could relate to, I was offered a different position at a neighboring school district. They recruited me. And it was so hard to think like, should I go, should I not? And I had to waited to the very last minute. And I made my list of pros and cons. The other district was further. I was like, do I really want to drive further? But then again, I loved my students here. Love the students here. And I was able to provide so much, which I see you guys have amazing teachers here. And so even more teachers that in my other district, I was like, Lynwood has amazing teachers that work hard, that are dedicated, that spend so much of their time, but not only their time, but their money to give back to these students, to buy supplies, to buy everything that these kids need so that they can have an enjoyable time here. And it's true, I've heard many other people say what we remember the most is our teachers. I remember my teacher, Mr. Harsh, from high school, and he was an amazing teacher, and he's the one that inspired me to become a teacher. Again, going through my list of pros and cons, I have a family, my family started, and so I had 2 little kids, and my husband, and just as the last thing, the other district could pay me more. And that was the ultimate. Even though everything else, I wanted to stay here, my heart wanted to be here, but for my family, for me to be able to live, in California, where, eggs might be $10, 12, dozen, and just to be able to afford that, I needed to go to a district that respected me and that would pay me the living wage that I deserved. But it still broke my heart to leave here. And I was not able to serve the community because the district didn't believe in me and believe in my worth. And that is very disappointing because we don't want you guys, this community, to lose any more amazing teachers.
Thank you. Belinda Alvarez.
I'm
Dan-
Belinda Alvarez. Can I give her my 3 minutes?
Sure. Ms. Belinda Alvarez has yielded her time. No?
And, and again, I have still people that live in the community. I mean, that family. I have my neighbors. I have friends, that I still keep in contact from Lynwood, and that I hang out here, and their kids go to here. And I would hate for them to lose any more amazing teachers. But one thing I do, and acknowledge, Mr. Morales, you did make the statement that I appreciate, that you said you feel like these teachers really deserve the raise, and that you understand, and I hope the rest of the board does as well. But I hope you also understand, the board picks the people in these positions of power. You guys make those decisions. So even though you might not have that, like you're not on the negotiating team, but you pick these people that are in power. And I would like to share a story with you guys that I completely remember. This is barely this is out of all my years here in Lynwood, this is the second time that I've been at this podium. The first time I was here for my classroom, for my students. And a few of my students came here to help support. There was a program that we wanted, and that they discontinued the program at the school, and it was to help the kids to read and just kind of encourage them, and it was incentive. And I remember sitting here with my students distinctly. I remember sitting there with my students, ready to go. We were, had our signed up, and Mr. Crossway was sitting kind of in back of us, and they asked us, "What are you guys doing here?" And we kind of explained, we were here. And then, he had said, like, "You don't need to go up to the panel, like, we can take care of it." And so, but we still went because my students were here, and we were really excited. We really wanted this program. I had kids that had told me a picture book. They had never read a full book in their life before until being in my classroom. And so we still came up here and, said what we needed to say. And then word got back to me that they wanted me written up, because I came to the board to speak up for my students, and to speak up for my students and to speak up for my class. It wasn't for me, it was for my students. And it was, unfortunately, I was told that Mr. Crossway wanted me written up for coming to the board. I was a community member. I lived here in the community, and that was very disappointing. So it's, again, you guys pick these positions in power, and it might look like a difference, you get to see a different facade than the rest of us do. So with these positions, these people in, positions of power, I really do ask you, who are these people? What is it really in their heart? Is it because the teachers really care about these students? They are using their time, they're using their, their money, their time to invest in these students. Please just make sure that the people that you pick in this power, that you pick as a superintendent or as assistant superintendents, that they really have that same heart. Because I don't feel that they did, and I remember that feeling, to feel that somebody wanted me written up because I came to speak up for my students. I came to speak up because I cared and I loved my community, and that was the only reason I was up here. And yet, they wanted me written up.
Daniel Ramirez, followed by Kelly Dixon. Daniel Ramirez, followed by Kelly Dixon.
That's one of the good ones. If you wanted her written up, that makes you the bad guy. All right, so my name is Daniel Ramirez. I am a parent. I have 2 kids in Will Rogers Elementary. When my kids were born, and until this day, they have completed my life completely. Us parents, we trust people. Every single morning at 8 a.m., we trust people with our most cherished, with our heart, essentially, with our lives. And here's the thing about Will Rogers Elementary. Superintendent, the school is dilapidated. It's coming apart. It looks like MacGyver put it together. But you know what? All is forgiven. Because here's the thing. It's filled with Miss Uggan. It's filled with Mr. Blanco. It's filled with countless teachers, Ms. Collins, Mr. McClintock, who's now retired, who I was honored by because they educated my children. They all got an A, all of them, and I'm a fellow teacher. I teach for ABC Unified. I'm part of the union representation, ABCFT, and we stand with you. Your schools may be falling apart physically, but spiritually and educationally, they're as strong as ever. You have strength in your district, and it doesn't lie in the walls, because we all know, us educators know, that it doesn't matter what amenities you have, it doesn't matter how many seats you have, it doesn't matter whether the AC is working. I mean, take care of the rats, please. But the rest of it doesn't really matter, because what matters is how those educators make students feel. That's what matters. So, your district, Chief Business Official, your district is standing. It's still standing, but you're about to tear it down. Don't do that. You have messed up buildings, but you have incredible structure. Please keep it together for future kids. You can keep looking at your laptop, that's cool, but you know we're talking to you. You know we're talking to you. All our children, Mr. Morales, all our children deserve better. So respect them, respect our kids. In doing so, pay your teachers, because that's your structure.
Jorge Bravo after Kelly Dixon. Jorge Bravo after Kelly Dixon.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Dixon, and I have been an educator for Lynwood Unified since 1999. Neither politics nor public speaking is my forte. However, that changes tonight. I can no longer sit on the perimeter and say nothing as my peers speak. Now it's my time to take action, and that is why I stand before you. I understand the hierarchy of things. Yes, Dr. Crossway makes more money than us, as he carries the weight of the district on his shoulders. And our administrators tirelessly and single-handedly run our schools. We, as teachers, carry the weight of our classrooms. We are responsible not only for our students' education, but also their social and emotional well-being. We get to experience the joys of watching their eyes light up when they've grasped a new concept. And we also get to hear their laughter and their squeals on the playground. We are the ones that experience their heartaches as well. We wipe away tears and give words of encouragement as if they were our own children. We spend more hours with our students than our very own children at home. However, there are things that we carry with us, not physically, but in our minds every day. There are things that we are mandated to report that give us nightmares. Each one of us has had one of those students. They may not be in our class anymore, but they are permanently ingrained in our hearts and in our minds. As I was going through my school emails, which I need to do more often, I came across a very old email from Dr. Crossway, dated April 1st, 2020, during the time of COVID. In this email, I quote, "Please know how grateful we are for you, each and every one of you. You make up the fabric of Lynwood Unified, and you are invaluable and to the success of this community. Yes, we make up the fabric of this community. Yes, but we are worn, torn, and exhausted. 5% is an absolute slap in the face to all of us." This is ridiculous. You act as if we are elephants in a circus. Peanuts are being thrown at us as if we'll be satisfied. How insulting to the fabric of Lynwood Unified. And just an FYI, the district did not respond to our initial offer for 4 months. President Morales and the district themselves have canceled meetings with our bargaining team in the past. Have a good night.
Javier Noriega after Jorge Bravo. Javier Noriega after Jorge Bravo.
Good evening.
Elizabeth Cortazar will be next.
Good evening. My name is Jorge Bravo. I am a specialized academic instruction at Fireball High School. Those of you who know me and my contributions to this district would know that being disruptive couldn't be anything farther from the truth. The district's attack on our teachers, particularly after and during the Arts Festival, is unacceptable. And I am so very disappointed at all the board members, none of which said a single word about what happened on that day. I stand by the message that you have not yet replied, by the way. Now more than ever, the Lynwood community deserves better leadership. Speaking of which, I'd like to address a few remarks made by our district's leader. The superintendent has suggested that if teachers cared about money, we wouldn't work in education. He has also suggested that the district's budget is negatively impacted by high employee salaries. Well, if both of those are true, when will you be taking a salary cut that shows you're not all about the money, superintendent? Since higher salaries are such a concern, would you say it's time for Lynwood to hire a superintendent and less assistant superintendents with lower salaries? You do not practice what you preach. Last month, you asked LTA to discourage our students' plans, which were partly in response due to your own disregarding behavior at the last board meeting. Some of your schools are named after individuals who championed speaking up, taking action, and the principles of nonviolence, yet you attempt to silence students. How do you do it, superintendent? How do you explain to students who attended Cesar Chavez Middle School that they should not organize or protest? How do you explain to students who attended Rosa Parks Elementary that they should not take action or participate in peaceful demonstrations? Sounds like a walking contradiction. On the topic of contradictions, Mr. Del Real Calleros, you describe yourself as a union leader. You talked about your participation in the LAUSD strike. I find it inconceivable that you try to undermine another union's efforts and spread false information. You did this at the science fair of all places, knowing that our members, it would be inappropriate for our members to say anything about union matters. You made your position clear. Keep your apologies and have excuses. You can put on your red shirt and pretend you're about the union life, or you can keep that on and hold this superintendent and his cabinet accountable. The choice is yours. Our students deserve better. Thank you.
April Spurlock after Elizabeth Cortazar. April Spurlock after Elizabeth Cortazar.
Good evening, everyone. I am a parent of a second grader at Marshall Elementary School. I am also a Lynwood citizen and a taxpayer, and they're not cheap. It is a shame that our teachers have to come to this point, to this extent, to obtain a fair pay. I assure you, each and every one of you, that you guys don't need to rally out there in the heat, in the cold, to negotiate your raises. Of course not. Shame on everyone that has opposed to a fair contract for our teachers. Our teachers are our heroes. Our teachers, just for example, the Uvalde, how many teachers saved lives that day? Not to mention the conditions in which our teachers have to work in. I've seen broken desks, ugly carpets falling apart, no AC at all whatsoever. Just last year, my child had to be in class for 5 weeks when there was a heat wave of over 100 degrees. Come on, people, this is a first world country. Perhaps, just perhaps, it is time to vote you guys out. Thank you.
Catherine Tengan after April Spurlock.
Good evening, everyone. Hello again. Before I say what I was going to say. If I understood Ms. Lopez correctly, she insinuated that we are disrespectful in some way, shape, or form. That's not appreciated. And the meeting that was scheduled that was canceled, it was a tentative meeting, and the documents that we requested hadn't been given. So that's the reason it wasn't going to be a productive meeting anyway. So I spoke at the March 9th board meeting about the fact that our Breathe Smart machines are useless since the filters need to be replaced. Here we are 7 weeks later, and the filters are still dirty. COVID has not gone away. In fact, I have a student out with it this week. You say you don't have money to give teachers a raise we deserve. Why don't you have the money? You say we need to get to the problem. Well, this is the problem. We see the waste and the lack of oversight regarding the budget and the spending. Is it true that you guys went to Australia for a conference that was here in Southern California? Teachers don't have control over the district's finances and choices. You do. I learned the saying back in 1988 when I first started teaching in Lynwood. If anybody in the audience knows it, please join me. There's the right way, and there's the way of the wood, meaning Lynwood. At the time, I had hoped that things would improve. They haven't. Another example of the district's incompetence is the fact that we don't have a working PA system in case of an emergency. Again, when I first started in the district, that was the same issue we had at Wilson Elementary, so 24 years ago. The staff was asked for ideas how to solve the problem. Tin cans and strings, messenger pigeons. We now rely on the phones, but that's risky because if the internet goes down, which it often does, the phones won't work. We had a PA system, but something happened to it during the construction to make our NPR structurally sound. Yes, apparently we're lucky we didn't have an incident like Lynwood High. One error leads to another error, and nothing is being done to correct it. Where is the oversight to hold contractors accountable? Now more money will have to be spent to make our campus safer. Apparently this is the reason we can't get paid more. An assembly bill was introduced yesterday that would increase teacher pay by 50% by 2030. Our legislature realizes there are districts like Lynwood who need to be forced to use funds for teacher salaries. Hopefully it will pass, but we deserve a fair raise now.
Marco Tostado after Catherine Tinga.
Good evening, Dr. Crossway, board members, and most importantly, thank you to the teachers, parents, families, and students who make this district what it really is. We are innovation coaches, and I'm speaking on behalf of the team of 9 innovation coaches in this district to educate all present in what it is that we do. With the amount of technology students encounter daily, having innovation coaches at our sites remains a crucial necessity. As coaches, we prioritize digital citizenship. Combined, we have taught over 600 digital citizenship lessons. With teaching these lessons and completing the necessary requirements, we earned the recognition from Common Sense Education as Common Sense Schools, leading to the district applying to become a Common Sense district. We do more than teach digital citizenship. We are STEAM teachers. We have taught over 500 STEAM lessons. In the Innovation Center, students participate in hands-on learning, collaborate, and communicate to problem solve while going through the engineering design process, a component of the next gen science standards. Teachers have shared that with all the testing they have to administer, they are thankful we covered this with students as they focus on ELA and math learning loss to help students succeed with grade level standards. We are hearing, do it for the kids. We see more than 600 students per week. We have logged approximately 8,000 hours of student engagement where we give 110% into each class that comes through our innovation centers. However, it appears that our district is intent on eliminating our positions that are in high demand and valued without thinking about the future implications of doing so. You need to fund the teachers and coaches rather than consultants and hiring more district admin. Eliminating our positions will encourage more families to go to districts that have STEAM teachers in every school. Those districts respect their teachers and compensate them accordingly. Innovation coaches have used their own time, like all teachers in the district who work well beyond their contractual hours, to create a curriculum with lessons that build on digital skills previously taught. Students are excited to come to the innovation centers. What better incentive to come to school is there than knowing that it is an innovation center day? They are excited to learn the skills needed in this digital age. In addition to running innovation centers, we have assisted in over 1,000 tech support issues and teacher coaching sessions. We assist with minor tech issues at our sites to help teachers and students get back on track with their tech without having to submit a ticket. This helps our district IT team focus on larger issues. We also conduct mini coaching sessions with our staff, whether it's one-on-one to show how to incorporate a tool, or grade level or department. We are there to assist our staff with the integration of technology they have available to them. Lastly, I'd like to leave you with quotes from two students. Kayla said, "I enjoy innovation class and lab because I like learning about aerospace and airplanes. It helps my imagination grow." Jorge said, "Every time I go to the innovation sessions, I like coding new projects.
Thank you.
I think I might like to take more computer science classes in college." Please keep their fire for learning about
Thank
science
you.
and technology alive
Ms. Tengan,
and
Ms. Tengan, I have to cut
thriving,
you off.
relating to
Sorry.
innovation coaches
Thank
at the
you.
sites.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Marco Tostado. Luis, followed by Luis Cortez. Luis Cortez after Marco Tostado.
Good evening to all. I'm here to support the teachers of the Lynwood Unified School District, to focus on teachers who tirelessly bring hope to our community. We work consistently to transform dreams into reality. These dreams include attending colleges across our nation and earning degrees that will improve the lives of the community where they live. But those dreams are disappearing. Yes, highly qualified and experienced teachers, school psychologists, and speech pathologists are moving to districts with better pay and benefits. Why? What has changed? I can only conclude that 8 years ago, our current superintendent arrived and teacher salaries have stagnated near the bottom of the Los Angeles County teacher salary schedules. A man with such public service experience should understand the concept of competitive salary. He understands our position, but he refuses to fight for teachers. Imagine for a moment my position, a teacher with 29 years of experience. If I were employed by the Paramount Unified School District, I would earn $22,000 more per year. And in Downey Unified School District, it would be $32,000 more per year. Our bargaining unit has requested a 14.9 increase, which would put our salary more in line with others in the Los Angeles County. The district has countered with a 5% offer. That's bad. I request that the district make adjustments to the salary schedule. Most districts have steps that include salary increases for teachers at 25, 30, and 35 years of experience. Why does Lynwood stop at 20 years? The salary schedule punishes teachers for longevity where it should be rewarded. This adjustment would increase retention of teachers with experience and provide stability to schools and students. As a veteran teacher, I can feel the morale of teachers during this contract dispute, and it is not good. I worry that Lynwood will be a destination for short-term teacher careers. I see a Board of Education that has difficulty comprehending the concept of how to attract and retain highly qualified teachers. By raising our salary schedule to reflect the new era in public education, you can usher in a bright future for Lynwood students. Stay on the current path and the future is bleak. Finally, I want the city of Lynwood to be held in the highest of esteem. I want the best for our students and their families. I want the superintendent to fight for teachers and not against us. Above all else, I want Lynwood students to thrive. Thank you and good night.
Glenda Arellano after Luis Cortez. Glenda Arellano after Luis Cortez.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Luis Cortez. I'm a sixth grader at Lugo Elementary. I think our teachers deserve a better pay. My teacher, Mr. Gonzalez, always goes out of his way to help me before school starts. I have improved because all teachers care about kids. Us kids, please remember, it's our future in your hands, not yours. If I would degrade you like a teacher grade us, you are getting a F for failure. I care about us kids, teachers. Please show us that you really care about kids. Thank you and good night.
Linda Atkins Arnett after Glenda Arellano.
Good evening. So I had a whole thing planned to say, but as always, I got thrown off by the comments so far. Multiple times tonight, I've been brought to tears, a couple times from frustration and anger, other times from just joy of seeing one of my former students that I wasn't expecting and seeing how successful she is from my first year teaching, and then seeing all the support from the parents and family and from students, hearing how, how well-spoken they are and how passionate they are. So I'm just going off the top of my head. I first want to say that you are being misinformed. The meeting date that was canceled, it was, as one of the members said, it was a tentative date, it wasn't a set date, and it was canceled because we did not receive the financial information that we had requested in time, or our bargaining team had not received the financial information. So there was nothing new to discuss. So why take our teachers out of the classroom and have a sub in there to sit around and meet about something that had not changed from the last time we met? We canceled it for our students. One of the reasons why we get so frustrated that these negotiation processes go so long, and I can speak from when I was bargaining chair, is because every time we bargain, we don't just get to leave our office to meet. We have to leave our class. We have to prepare sub-plans. We have to leave our students, and we don't want to do that. I know we try very hard to treat each other with respect, and I think our bargaining teams treat each other with respect. I think we have a very good relationship compared to past teams. But the offer that the team is authorized to give us is what's disrespectful. And we know that the board does not give us the offer, but as many people have said, you guys put the people in power who do give the offer. You guys put the people in power who try to block us from meetings the last time we came. And you guys have the ultimate say regarding the budget. You get to approve or decline. We know money is there. Yes, we're in declining enrollment. Everybody is in declining enrollment. But we know the money is there. It's just not being used wisely. I used an improper word last time, but I will say it's not being used wisely, and we need to know why. We need transparency. We need to know why we're spending so much money on consultants, some of who are all connected, and some of who are family members of other district personnel. Why are we spending all this money instead of investing in the students?
Thank you. Christina Ramirez, following Linda Atkins. Christina Ramirez.
I was taking a breath first because so much is going on. First off, respectfully to the school board, the cabinet, and the superintendent, it is awful when you hear your own unit, which is different, being used to spread lies. I am here to set the record straight, but first, to tell the teachers and your support staff as well, Bellflower Teachers Association is with you. I am hearing rumors, and I spoke with my school board president last night, and she asked me, you are going to go and set the record straight, aren't you? I said, absolutely. My name is Linda Atkins Arndt. I am the Teachers Association president of Bellflower Teachers Association. I am a 39-year teacher. I most recently taught kinder. And I could put this to you simply. When someone is saying that we are being audited because we got too big of a raise, I mean, my bargaining team is texting me going, headline, teachers have to give back the money because it was too much. They're overpaid. We also are very similar and have been in the situation of my colleagues. For years, we have been behind. Many things have happened, but we've got a new superintendent. He took the time to bring in outside people to train his school board and explain budgets. He brought in also with his CBO and his cabinet, they all came in and spent days crunching the numbers, going over everything. His goal and his point is he needs to build a staff, maintain and retain the quality teachers that are out there. Because number one, we're not competitive. We're still not competitive, although we were graciously given 15.5 for this year, retroactive to July 1st. I've already gotten my paycheck. I gave the president of the teachers union the copy of the pay scales. Again, unbelievable. Retro checks come out. The retro check will come out on May 1st, back. And we get another 4.5 next year. I apologize.
You are, but thank you. That was informative.
Oh, I have more, thank you.
Christina Ramirez, followed by Evangelina Cruz. Christina Ramirez, followed by Evangelina Cruz.
Le cedo mi tiempo a la señora Dora López.
She wants to yield the time to Laura Lopez.
No voy a repetir lo mismo, me voy a decir donde me quedé.
No va a
La incapacidad de todos ustedes como miembros de la mesa directiva del distrito para apoyar a los maestros no hace más que evitar que el sindicato se concentre de mayor escala como este. Deberíamos apoyarnos unos a los otros para construir el distrito.
Your incapacity to support the teachers is what caused the number of teachers that are present here today. And we should use all this to support our teachers.
Abogar más, pero en lugar de eso, todos ustedes están haciendo enemigos con los mismos educadores que han guiado a los estudiantes a las mejores universidades, a pesar de las barreras existentes para los estudiantes de primera generación y de bajos recursos.
But instead, but instead, you have chose to get all these teachers against you and fight against you instead of lobby in favor of them. Those are the teachers that put all the students in the highest universities.
Sea mejor, superintendente y miembros de la mesa directiva.
Be better, superintendent, and be better board members.
Nosotros confiamos en ustedes, votamos por cada uno de ustedes y están fallando, pero así como les dimos el voto, se los quitamos.
We trusted you. And we gave you each our votes, but at the same time, the same way that we gave you our vote, we can take it away from you.
Antes de ustedes estar en la posición que están, pasaron por los maestros. Sin ellos, no estuvieran donde están ustedes.
Before you came to this position, you came through a teachers like this one. Without that, you couldn't be here.
Señor superintendente, le voy a dar el nombre de mi hija, Bridget López. Le voy a encargar ahí que revise. A todos les doy la libertad de checarla. ¿Qué calificación tiene y en qué programa la han aceptado? Para que estén cerrando programas, aquí me van a ver todos los días hasta a que me resuelvan a mí eso.
Mr. Superintendent, I'm going to give you the name of my daughter, Bridget Lopez. I want you to check her out to see what program she was accepted on. And you want to counsel him right now? I'm going to be right here in every meeting until everything gets resolved.
Todo lo que ustedes dijeron, todos se contradicen. Todos se contradicen a lo que están diciendo. Mi hija de tercer año estuvo en la competencia de high school, corriendo. Ni una botella de agua le dieron a mi hija.
Everything
A
that you,
ninguno de ustedes los vi ahí. ¿Por qué están hablando de actividades y no están presentes?
everything that you said, you're conflicting on. My daughter participated in one of the races, of the running races. She didn't even have a water bottle. I didn't see any one of you there.
Señor superintendente, ¿no le da pena que todos lo estemos atacando cuando es un equipo ustedes y siempre estamos atacando a usted? ¿Qué prefiere? ¿Que lo reelijamos o aumentándose el sueldo y estar permitiendo que todos estemos atacando a usted y a los demás?
Mr. Superintendent, don't you feel ashamed when we're all attacking you and not everybody else? You're a team. You're supposed to be a team. We shouldn't be attacking just you.
Por eso estoy aquí, al 100%, apoyando a los grandes maestros. Si yo le pregunto a la maestra de prekinder de mi hija que está ahorita en Stanford, le pregunto quién es mi hija, si se acuerda, inmediatamente me dice quién es ella. ¿Y ustedes? Estuvo mi hija aquí en la foto y les aseguro que no se recuerdan de ella.
My daughter is on Stanford, and if I ask her, she remembers the teacher's name, but she doesn't remember any of you. And she was here in the picture.
Gracias, señora Dora. Evangelina Cruz, followed by Areli Tolentino. Evangelina Cruz, followed by Areli Tolentino.
Buenas tardes a todos, mi nombre es Evangelina Cruz, soy madre voluntaria casi todos los días porque tengo un niño brillante, un niño hiperactivo con déficit de atención y estoy haciendo de mi parte como madre que estoy ahí y agradezco a los maestros con los que ha estado.
Good afternoon. My name is Evangelina Cruz. I'm here because I have students, Brian students and Roger. And
Un niño hiperactivo con déficit de atención.
and he is a student that needs special attention with, he's a hyperactive student.
Y solo estoy perdiendo tiempo y pues yo creo que no ocupo porque tengo que decir todo lo que tengo que decir, ¿verdad? Así es que estoy apoyando a los maestros porque las condiciones, como dijeron mis compañeros padres, que lo que más veo ahora como padre que estoy en la escuela, el aire que filtra sí sirve, pero no lo limpian. He chequeado ese
Hay que
aire.
traducirle.
And I'm gonna stop because I'm wasting my time here because I'm repeating everything that everybody's here. I'm supporting the teachers because the air at the school, it does work, it moves around, but it's not actually cleaning it. The filters might not work.
Y los niños se están enfermando y se están quedando atrás.
And the kids are getting sick and staying behind.
Y especialmente hoy se fue una niña que tiene fiebre y pues también he mirado la clase que también mencionaron ese rato que acaban de construir el auditorio, que no lo terminaron bien porque miro que hay cables salidos de la clase de mi hijo y pues yo no sé por qué está esos cables ahí que deberían, si fue construido, deberían de haber hecho su trabajo bien.
And today, one of the kids had to go home with fever because of the construction. They built the auditorium, and I don't think it was built right because there's wires sticking out of the classroom, my son. And I don't think it was built properly.
Y también quería agregar que pues el agua que toman ellos no filtra y pues eso está mal. Más con mi hijo que tiene así, es hiperactivo y yo le pongo lonche todos los días por la misma razón que el niño no puede comer lo que dan en la escuela y pues eso está mal.
Also, wanted to mention that the water is not safe for them to drink because I have to provide lunch for my son every day because he's hyperactive and he cannot eat the food that is at the school.
Y también quería agregar el salón que del PTA también está todo goteado y pues tienen un nylon encima del salón y pues yo creo que también hay agua encima y eso también puede producir mosquitos y pues eso es peligroso para nuestros niños y para nuestros maestros.
And also the PTA classroom is all beat up. It has a nylon cover. I'm sure there's water on top of it, and that also can be harmful for the participant, for the parents as well, for the students.
Y también sigo apoyando a los maestros y ojalá que ustedes piensen muy bien lo que todos dijeron aquí hoy y gracias.
I'm here to support the students, the teachers, and I hope that you take in consideration everything that everybody said here tonight.
Thank you. Arely Tolentino, followed by Kevin Urea.
Buenas tardes. Yo vengo de la escuela Marshall, tengo 2 hijas estudiando ahí. El motivo por el que estoy aquí es porque no hay cámaras de vigilancia. Ya se metió
I'm here from Marshall High School in
elementario.
Marshall Elementary, and the reason why I'm here is because there's no cameras, and last time somebody broke in.
Ya se metió un hombre con intenciones desconocidas y he sido testigo de una pelea de niñas afuera de la escuela.
A man came in with unknown reasons, and I was a witness of girls fighting outside.
Además, tengo un video de 2 jovencitas brincándose la barda.
I also have a video of 2 of the teenagers jumping the fence.
Por lo cual, creo que es necesario tener cámaras.
Therefore, I think it's necessary to have video cameras.
Las bocinas en los salones no funcionan.
The speakers or the intercom at these classrooms are not working.
Hace días hicieron un simulacro y mis hijas me contaron que una persona pasó salón por salón avisando que ya estaban comenzando.
And a few days ago, there was a drill, and my daughter told me that there was a person going room by classroom, letting them know that it was time to start the drill.
Dios no lo quiera, si surge una emergencia, ¿quién se va a arriesgar a andar corriendo avisando?
God forbid there's an emergency. Who's going to be around all the classroom door by door?
Nuestros niños necesitan estar seguros.
Our children need to be safe.
El aire acondicionado necesita mantenimiento.
The AC must be maintained.
Mi hija mayor el año pasado comenzó a enfermarse. Es alérgica a los ácaros.
My daughter is
El polvo.
allergic to the dust mites.
Y como mamá en casa hice todo lo que tenía que hacer para mantenerla bien.
And as a mom, I did everything that I could to keep her safe.
Mas sin en cambio, las veces que le daban las crisis más fuertes fue en la escuela.
Unfortunately, when she had the worst reaction was when she was at school.
3 veces tuve que llevarla a emergencias.
3 times she ended up in the emergency room.
Cuando llueve, el agua moja las paredes de los salones del segundo piso.
When it rains, the second floor walls get totally soaked.
Y quisiera saber cuándo harán un estudio de moho y de la estructura para saber si aún está en condiciones buenas para todos.
And I wish that you can do a mold study to find out if there's actually no mold in the walls.
Apoyo a los maestros, porque como toda persona tienen el derecho de trabajar en un ambiente bueno y sano en todos los sentidos.
I support the teacher because as a human being, they have the right to work in a well environment with every angle of it.
Con un ingreso digno a su labor que realizan, ya que me consta porque veo todo el apoyo que le dan a mis hijas.
With a fair income because I'm aware of all the services and support that they provide to my daughters.
Y también a los niños que más lo necesitan.
And also to the other students that need it the most.
Solo me retiro con una pregunta. ¿Por qué, si dicen que no hay dinero, por qué usted sí tuvo un aumento?
And I live with this question. Why if there's no money, you had the biggest raise?
¿Acaso es más importante el bienestar de usted que el de todos nuestros niños y maestros?
Is your well-being better than all of our teachers and students?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alexandra Medina after Kevin Urea. Alexandra Medina after Kevin Urea.
As I come in today, I not only see teachers, but I see fathers and mothers, and I see those who have made me who I am today. They set up the future. So why must they abandon everything to come here for something that is owed to them? This is why I fight for them. I wanted to know just if they have always been there for me. I want to be there for them because without teachers, we are nothing. I see teachers from my elementary and my high schools all united together, and I am disgusted with your audacity because who are you guys to badmouth my second family? They're the ones preparing me, spending countless hours when I come in crying, and they can no longer do that because they have work. What's it called? Work to rule. They're the ones who inspire me and give me hope, and they're the reason I'm able to go to my mom and my dad and tell them they won't have to work anymore later in their lives because they're the ones preparing me to go to college and make a better life for me. They are the reasons I get to hear my brothers every day from school and tell me all the activities they did with the teachers and how much fun they have. They give the opportunity for my brothers to have a role model. They give them the role model of me because they have helped me become, in my journey, a top 10 student. In my life, I feel my teachers have made a bigger impact than anything in the community. You guys don't know anything they go through. They have to work with not only incompetent facilities, but district members. As our teachers unite, the students will too for our conditions at our school. Rather than address our problems, whether teacher or student, you guys hide behind your doors and will continue to do so. You guys can be replaced, but my teachers cannot. And I leave the question, why not help our teachers so they can help us? Because they have spent their whole lives doing stuff for me, and I want to do stuff for them. Because they give all of us the opportunity to become what we want to become and better our lives from our parents. I'm done.
Alyssa Shepard Vitella. Alyssa Shepard Vitella after Alexandra Medina.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Crosswaite. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of the students and teachers of LUSD once again. And as such, I ask for your undivided attention, as that may be hard for you all. Hello, my name is Alexandra Medina, and I am a junior at Lynwood High School. Teachers are a crucial part of our development as capable members of society. And as capable members of society, shouldn't you acknowledge all their hard work and dedication? You wouldn't be sitting where you are today without those teachers, professors, and mentors that have guided you all. So acknowledge the teachers in our district, the teachers that have sacrificed so much for us. I have personally seen the extra hours teachers work, as well as the money they spend to enrich our classrooms. I'm just scratching the surface of all the hard work and effort that they have put in for their students. Aren't we taught that hard work should be rewarded? Aren't you the ones that make a spectacle out of every little success that comes out of our city? Yet you disregard the success that truly matters. The students and teachers coming together for a single cause, better pay and better conditions. I wasn't hoping to reunite with my elementary and middle school teachers so soon. I mean, it's great to see them all, but not in these circumstances. These amazing people are only asking for compensation. Once again, because you have yet to do anything. You receive money for every student that attends the schools. So shouldn't that money be properly allocated for those students and their educators? But all you care about is the prestige that comes from our effort. Pay a visit to the classrooms. Stay longer than it takes to snap a picture. Spend time with the students of the district that you are supposed to serve. These walls isolate you from the realities that we face every day. Teachers and students are stuck in horrendous conditions. We are learning in classrooms filled with mold, rodents, and garbage bins collecting water. And in doing so, we, the students and teachers, are risking our health. We are placed in danger because you have yet to do something about it. Just as you have yet to do something about the teachers and their salary increases that they have been fighting for years. While you get raises almost every year, teachers are suffering with terrible medical plans and unfair pay. We have returned because nothing has changed, and we will continue to return until we are heard. WTF, where's the funding?
Mateo Martin after Alyssa Shepard. Mateo Martin after Alyssa Shepard. Alyssa Shepard. Mateo Martin after Alyssa Shepard.
Good evening again, admin and board. I am here as a junior of Lynwood High, demanding, and I'm gonna get straight into it, demanding why? Why have my buildings been allowed to harbor hazardous conditions and become absurdly inhabitable with leaky roofs and poor and open insulation, rats, active and guaranteed flooding during any sort of rainy season, and mold actively festering? And I refuse to believe that you haven't already heard about these conditions and have had them stressed to you again and again with each student speaker that comes in or with each teacher speaker that comes in. And where are the teachers, you may ask, in these conditions? They're teaching. Despite these hazards, these teachers are continuing to educate us on how to be respectful and how to keep our best interests in mind. And where are you, board and admin? You're here. You're here boasting CTE programs that are at my LUSD Lynwood High School, but that those programs haven't even been fully funded. You're here boasting programs like our science CTE program, but that program, those science rooms, the labs haven't even been fully refurbished or funded. The science rooms don't even have safety eye washes or safety e-baths, I believe that they're called, or safety fume hoods. Then our PLTW, I know that you recently just congratulated us for the skills competition, which I'm very impressed by my own peers, how they managed to make that competition despite their PLTW program not even having an official classroom with proper equipment. You mentioned negotiations being canceled, but last I remembered, you didn't fund our teachers the proper material to fulfill the complete negotiation. Additionally, the other 5 meetings you canceled. Board members, the only way I can describe your behaviors and statements is utterly audacious. Audacious how you deem teachers fighting for better conditions for themselves and students disrespectful. Audacious how you doubt teachers' dedication and support for their students at this recent art festival. Which reminds me, you always happen to be at the place of LUSD students' successes, but where are you as it's being built? And you might say, well, that's not my job. But what is your job? Because it sure isn't keeping my classroom safe for me or my peers or my siblings who are going to elementary schools. Audacious how you talk back to my mentors, my siblings' educators, and your working body in such disgusting and callous manners. WTF, where's the funding?
Kimberly Kirkley after Mateo Martin. Kimberly Kirkley after Mateo Martin.
I am Mateo Martin, a student under the Lynwood Unified School District for 10 years. I'm a junior at Lynwood High School. 6 years ago, I stood up at this podium as one of the top performing students at my elementary school. I sang the national anthem for you. I was chock full of dreams, hopes, and aspirations. And I dreamt of being a teacher. I also dreamt of being able to pay my medical bills, financially support a family, and possibly one day even, absurdly, own a house. Sadly, I have been forced to realize that I have to choose between those. And I'm sorry that I am emotional. I'm sorry that I am passionate. You have taken my hope, set up walls between me and my aspirations. Teachers have been operating clubs without pay for so long. When we entered Work to Rule in April, my club, the Queer Student Union, suffered. Without a space to organize or plan, our club has not been able to make an impact and create a much-needed safe space for queer students on campus. I hope you understand that you have taken my safe space, my comfort away from me. Don't you feel uncomfortable? Don't you sit there in your seats and don't you feel ashamed? As a queer student, teachers are the people that have supported me and made me feel comfortable at the school, not you sitting here, teachers. Teachers, okay? They have advocated for accommodations during field trips, taken time out of their days to talk to me and make sure I am okay, and even help me write emails to other teachers about my pronoun changes. A teacher was a person who supported me when I came out to my parents. She was a shoulder to cry on, a beacon of hope for my future. That teacher wasn't paid for the time that I sat in that classroom and cried to her. Was that only worth 5% to you? When I felt isolated from my peers and people around me, it was a teacher who pulled me out of the dark. It was a teacher who took me on my first camping trip, the same camping trips that are no longer being sufficiently funded. A teacher showed me snow for the first time in my life. A teacher who made me believe that college was a possibility. I hope you can convince me that a future as a teacher is a possibility as well. I hope you can instill that hope back inside of me. I hope I can have a future, and I hope you guys will allow this because it is in your hands. It is in every single one of your hands. You guys have the control to give me back my future, to give me back my hope. I'm asking you, begging you to actually give this hope back to me. Thank you for your time.
Alexa Medina after Kimberly Kirkley. Alexa Medina after Kimberly Kirkley.
Good evening. My name is Kimberly Kirkley. I'm the elementary school director for LTA. I'm also on the bargaining team, which I was pretty upset to hear the misconceptions that have been given to you by your members. And most importantly, I am the 6th grade teacher of these young students that are still here. Thank God I didn't give you homework. I will tell you that my heart and soul are these kids. I am single. I have no children. I will admit I am 50 years old, but my kids are them. I do everything for these kids. You make it sound that it's easy to do Work to Rule. It is killing me. And Mr. Del Real, I'm glad that you got your 21%. It must be a relief, but I wish you would do the same for us. And yes, you were at Lugo's open house, but you didn't come to my room. And just so you know, all the opportunities that your sisters get to do at the end of the year is because I've planned them all. During my 8 to 3 now, because I can't stay after school. I have to do what's best for my kids still, and I thank God that I have parents that understand that. My kids, I teach them to speak up. They are able to be honest with me. They know that if they need to talk to me, they could pull me in the pod, and I will listen to them. They could tell me their problems, and I am there for them. Don't think that our life does not revolve around them. Mine does. My boyfriend knows every single one of their names, and he's only been here for 3 months down in California. My mom asks me every single day how school was and how my kids are. She's known Catherine since 3rd grade because I've had the privilege, being at Lugo, the smallest school, to loop with her for the last 4 years. It is an honor and a privilege to teach these kids. I don't want you to think that this is easy for us, because it's not. But to say that we have to get it together with a 5% increase, and you added 2 additional working days, is so disrespectful. I don't think most of our membership got to read our bargaining update today. You went further back and you didn't even move one step closer to us. That's disrespectful. It's unacceptable. You make us do nothing but test, test, test. The next 5 weeks, they are testing. I don't know how I'm going to teach them, but they are testing nonstop. So try to figure out how I'm supposed to do my job with the conditions you're giving us. Thank you.
Margie Granada after Alexa Medina. Margie Granada after Alexa Medina.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Crosswaite. I appreciate you giving myself and fellow classmates the opportunity to speak on behalf of our community and hope that you can give me a moment of your undivided attention. I am Alexa Medina, and I'm a product of Lynwood Unified School District's teachers, who have time and time again dedicated countless hours to helping us students. When I walked down Bullis earlier today, I was shocked to see how many people showed up to break the cycle of disrespect and underfunding that you have created. And I am proud to say that I come from those resilient teachers and parents who have and will continue to fight for fair pay. Hearing their cries for respect and an ounce of dignity from you, they have taught me to fight for what I believe in. And I believe that our teachers deserve better pay and at minimum, decent conditions. Teachers and students have been forced to work in hazardous environments full of mold, rodents, and lack of equipment. I am part of a CTE program at Lynwood High School, yet the equipment needed for our curriculum is nowhere to be found. And as a result of this, I, like many others, have resorted to filling the gaps of our education elsewhere, where I am supposed to be right now. However, this is more important to me. The teachers in this district have raised me and shaped me into who I am today. President Morales, you were talking about your perspective earlier, but you failed to mention the facts. You have canceled the past 5 negotiating meetings and have supplied LTA with incomplete paperwork. You have misconstrued our cause, saying that we are here instead of being with our families. But the teachers are here for their families, and we are here because they are ours. How are they supposed to make ends meet when they are not being adequately compensated for the work they do? Hear our cries for help. Do not block them out. You should be the ones to make this change for our teachers because it matters, because we matter. And I'm sorry, but we will not be silenced by the likes of you until our teachers receive what they deserve. So, Superintendent and board members, WTF, where's the funding?
Leslie Littman after Margie Granada. Leslie Littman after Margie Granada.
Granado.
Ay,
Hi, Margie
perdón.
Granado. I know there's an O there. School board members, Superintendent Crosswaith, cabinet, and esteemed LTA members, and very dignified Lynwood community. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Margie Granado. I am a kindergarten teacher from Montebello. I am also the CTA Board of Director that represents this area. And it is just a pleasure to do the work with the members of Lynwood Teachers Association. I do want to share a few of the settlements of some of the areas that I represent. Duarte, 7%, Mountain View and El Monte, 10%, Paramount, 11.5%, Little Lake, 10%, East Whittier, 10%, South Whittier, 10%, Norwalk La Mirada, 11%, and you heard from Bellflower. Now, if you cared about this community, the students of Lynwood Unified School District, you would be concerned about retaining and recruiting quality educators. What you're doing doesn't seem to say that you care. Surrounding districts can easily pick up your teachers all of the years, and they will make a significant amount of money, more money, as well as have better benefits. Don't do this to your students. These people are here because they love Lynwood. They love the community. They love the students. They're dedicated. But what you're doing is, it's like you're giving them the car and the car keys and say, hey, have a good time. You're sending them off. And I'm begging you not to do that. These people deserve better. These members deserve better. But of all, the students in the community deserve better. And Mr. Crosswaith, you come from Montebello too. I have a history with Montebello. I was a bargaining chairperson. I was a chapter president. And yeah, there's difficulty with board members. Yeah, sometimes we don't get along, we don't agree. But at the end of the day, The center is the students. Collaboration was the name of the game when I was there. Sometimes you get your way, sometimes you don't, but let's find a way through. There's always a way through. You have to listen. Probably listen more than you want to talk. You have to do that. So a common acquaintance of ours, his name is Eddie Velasquez. Some of you may or may not know him, but I worked with him as my superintendent. Agreed, disagreed, good times, bad times. That's the nature of the game, right? And he asked me how Gudiel was doing, and I could not deliver the message that he had hoped for. I said, you know, things are just not going well for my members, because I can only talk from the teacher side, right? I'm all, you're going to have to call him and find out what he thinks. But for me, when I hear that the members are sad, when I hear that the members are not successful in negotiating what they deserve, it's not so good. You know what? You can't lead the people if you don't love the people. Love the people. Love the people.
Thank you. Jerome Wiley after Leslie Littman. Jerome Wiley after Leslie Littman.
Sorry. Good evening. My name's Leslie Littman. I'm a high school history teacher out in the Santa Clarita Valley. Drove down here from there. But I'm currently released from the classroom to serve as the California Teachers Association Secretary Treasurer and now the Vice President-elect. These past few years have been challenging for all of us for many reasons. Today, with inflation rising at an astronomical rate, high cost of housing in Los Angeles, high cost of everything in Los Angeles, it's a struggle. And many of our educators here in Los Angeles, as well as up and down the state, are forced to live paycheck to paycheck. We entered this profession to make a difference. We didn't enter this profession to just not be able to pay the bills. As I sit here, and I've sat here since, I don't know, hours upon hours, I've read the mission statement and the objectives over and over and over again, clearly stated and posted here, and I'm sure elsewhere. Shows the priorities of the districts, a reminder of what the work is supposed to be about. Budgets also reflect the organization's priorities. They're supposed to reflect what we should be spending our money on. And the reality is, in this budget and all of the education budgets, it's the people that are the bulk of that budget. They're the program. They're the ones that make this phenomenal group of student speakers possible. They're the ones that filled the slideshow at the beginning of this meeting. It's the budget that indicates the priorities and the essential programs. In the last couple of years, the state budget has made a substantial investment in our schools. And up and down the state, districts have reached bargaining agreements that acknowledge the important work that educators are doing in their classrooms. It's about time. Doesn't make up for the loss of income that we faced in 2008 or a decade ago. It's a step in the right direction. Join the others that are doing the right thing and make sure that your teachers stay in your district. You spent a lot of time highlighting numerous programs and achievements that your educators have made happen. Saying thank you and acknowledging their work's nice, but showing that with a salary increase is actually better. Allows them to focus on the work of the classroom and their students instead of worrying about how they're going to pay their bills and if they have to take a second job. This board has the power to set the tone, to have your bargaining team make proposals that reflect the words that you all said here tonight, to have your budget reflect and acknowledge the work that educators do here. They implement the programs and actually put actions to your words. In this time of shortage, there's tremendous opportunity for teachers to leave low-paying districts and get hired elsewhere and make more money with just a signature on the first day of work than any time other in history. Do the right thing, live up to your mission statement.
Thank you,
Be
Ms.
people of great character who inspire and lead by example.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Edith Hueso after Jerome Wiley. Jerome Wiley here? I'm sorry. ¿Es Edith Hueso usted?
Sí.
Is Jerome Wiley here? Vi a una persona enfrente. Más quiero asegurar que no está aquí. Does anyone know who Jerome Wiley is? Is he here?
Ah, okay. Sí, sí, sí.
I just don't want to Jerome Wiley going once. Jerome Wiley going twice. Mr. Wiley is not present. Moving on to Edith Wessel, followed by Lisandra Moya.
Hola, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Edith Hueso. Tengo 3 hijos, uno en Hustler y 2 en Helen Keller.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Edith Weso. I have 3 kids, one on Hollister and one on Helen.
No represento a ninguna asociación en especial. Vengo como padre de familia y representando a muchos padres.
I don't represent any association in particular. I come as a mom and I represent a lot of parents.
Los padres de Helen Keller y apoyando especialmente a los maestros de dicha escuela.
I come from, represent especially parents from Helen Keller and supporting the teachers from that school.
Pidiendo apoyo y un sueldo justo por su desempeño, apoyo y dedicación, esfuerzo, paciencia y arduo trabajo.
Asking for a fair salary for them, for their hard work, dedication, and effort to support our students.
El cual no se les reconoce. Nos gustaría que ustedes o todo el personal del distrito pasaran un día completo en el salón de clases.
We would like for you or all of you to spend at least one day inside one of the classrooms.
Para que se den cuenta que no es fácil lidiar con 25 a 30 niños por aula.
So that you know that it's not easy to deal with 25 to 30 students per classroom.
Que también ahí necesitan ayudantes en las aulas y no se dan cuenta de que es bastante el trabajo y poco el sueldo que ellos reciben.
So that you know that it's a lot of work in the classroom and a little bit of salary for the work that they do.
Y no es justo que ganen más su personal, que solo están sentados llenando papeles sobre si los alumnos asistieron a clases o no.
And it's not fair that you have personnel making more money sitting in a desk just tabulating the assistance of the students.
Los maestros no quieren que los alumnos sean afectados. Es por eso que pedimos pagos justos.
Teachers don't want the students to be affected, therefore we ask for a fair salary.
Porque no son los maestros los que están apoyando, porque son los maestros los que están apoyando y ayudando a los alumnos más bajos en aprendizaje.
Because teachers are the ones that supporting the students that are far below or below their academic level.
Ahora, prácticamente la escuela es su segundo hogar para ellos.
Practically, the school is their second home for the students.
Y como padres creemos que ellos merecen igualdad como los otros distritos.
And as parents, we think that the students deserve equal education as well as other districts.
Que sí les dieron sus sueldos justos para sus maestros y lo mismo queremos para los nuestros.
That they got a fair salary for the teachers, and that's the same thing we want here for our teachers.
Que pertenecen a este distrito y que estamos faltos de materiales, filtros de agua para las fuentes que hay en las escuelas, en la escuela.
For the teachers and the water fountains that they have in the school, we're short on materials too.
Voy a brincar acá porque si no, no voy a acabar. Okay, no. Queremos que vean y reconozcan la gran importancia que tienen nuestros maestros para nuestros hijos y que les agradecemos por enseñarlos y cuidarlos y que parte terminan siendo consejeros.
We want you to recognize the importance that the teachers have for our kids because they we thank them for taking care of them and more or less because they becoming their counselors sometimes, not just the teacher.
Gracias, señora Hueso.
Sí.
Lisandra Moya.
Voy a pasar mi tiempo a la señora Edith Hueso para
And
que
for the
termine.
record, I want everyone to know, we don't do this, but I did it one time, and once you do it one time, you have to do it for the rest, okay? So that's why I'm doing it. So no hay problema, pásale. Please, Mr. Interpreter, please help her. It's because I don't want anyone to call me out next time we're in a meeting and I don't do it.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Ok, me quedé. Ok. Ellos terminan siendo consejeros y en ocasiones ellos reciben insultos por parte de los alumnos y ellos tienen que aguantar.
After they become the counselor, they a lot of times get insulted by the student, and they just have to take it in.
Cosa que ustedes no aguantarían y la verdad como padres debemos de premiarles por aguantar tanto a nuestros hijos.
And I don't think you will support that from the students, so we want to thank the teacher for taking it from our kids.
Y que quede claro que la mayoría de los padres van a estar con nosotros apoyando a nuestros maestros. Espero nuestras peticiones sean escuchadas.
And let's be clear that all of our parents will be supporting the teacher, so I hope that you listen to our suggestions.
Obviamente al distrito no le importa tanto pero esperamos que el gabinete de ejecutivos nos estén escuchando y veamos resultados.
Obviously, we want the administrator and the executive board to be listening and take action into, so we can see the results.
Y por último, quiero agradecer a todos los maestros porque nos han dado buenos ejemplos, que en principal mis hijos, yo estoy orgullosa de ellos, que los 3 que tengo tienen puros diplomas de honor.
I want to thank the teachers for being such a model for our kids. All of my kids have honor roll certificates.
Y eso se lo debo yo y se los agradezco a Miss Mata, Miss Cárdenas, Miss Macareno, Miss Moreno, Miss Rodríguez, Miss Ellison, Miss Tengan, Miss Orellana y Mr. McNeil.
And for that, I thank Ms. Mata, Cárdenas, Macarena, Moreno, Rodríguez,
Ellison,
Elisa,
Tengan,
Tejano, and Orellano. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Espero y ahora esta vez sí nos escuchen. Gracias.
I hope that you can actually listen to us. Thank you.
Thank you. We have reached the end of public comment. We're moving on to public hearings, which there are none. Item 13, action items. Number 13A, board meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve this agenda item 13A1? Moved by Ms. Lopez, second by Dr. Castro. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Item passes 5-0 vote. Item 13B, facilities, Measure K, Measure N projects, 13B1. Moved by Ms. Lopez. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Del Calleros. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Item passes 5-0 vote. Consent agenda. Moved by Ms. Lopez.
Second.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Del Calleros. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. President, I will just make a brief comment. I want to give a great thank you to Dr. Patricia Brentsenko for this amazing plan of equity, diversity, and inclusion plan for the 2023-2027 school years. Thank you to your department for working hard and diligently on this project.
Anything else? Seeing nothing else, all those in favor say by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Item passes 5-0 vote. Item 15, reporting out of closed session, General Counsel.
Mr. President, with reference to Section 5 of the published agenda, Section 5A1, with 4-0 votes, Mr. Hardy not present, the board approved settlement including $5,500 in fees. Item 5A2, with 4-0 votes, Mr. Hardy not present, the board approved settlement including $7,000 in fees. Item 5B1, with 4-0 votes, Mr. Hardy not present, the board appointed Susan Reilly, Principal, Cesar Chavez Middle School. Item 5B2, the board received information, no final action was taken. Item 5C, the board received information, no final action was taken, and that concludes the readout from closed session.
Thank you, General Counsel. Is there a motion to adjourn? Moved
Second.
by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Del Calleros. It is now 8:35 p.m. We are adjourned.